Hello you guys, my name's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who've been following along my cooking journey, kind of healthy cooking journey, as well as just residency, being a doctor journey. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Hannah. I am a resident physician. I'm in my first year of residency in family medicine, and I'm super passionate about just being healthy, cooking healthy, culinary medicine, lifestyle medicine, integrated medicine, kind of all that holistic stuff that we can incorporate into our lives to just lead our healthiest lives. And so I'm training in family medicine. Thankfully my program is really supportive of kind of those other modalities as well to incorporate so we can better help our patients. And so I try and practice what I preach and live by that. And I've been taking you guys along for some vlogs. So today is Saturday, and I'm actually going to be bringing you guys along my call shift tonight. I have like a night call shift kind of covering for the night team while they get a day off. So I'll be there tonight, and then I'm also studying for boards today. So not boards, I guess step 3. So in med school we have step 1 and step 2, and then in residency we actually have a 3rd step exam. So I'll be studying for that today. Kind of in the breaks in between, I'm also making sourdough. So if you guys follow along my Instagram, I'll include it there, but I've started to make sourdough and it's been really fun. It tastes delicious, but I still haven't gotten like a great rise yet, so I'm working on that. So I'll be cooking sourdough, studying for boards, doing UWorlds in between, kind of throughout the day today. I've also got a yoga class, and then tonight around 5:30, I'll be heading to the hospital to start kind of night call cover. While that's happening, my sourdough, just, you know, trying to balance, have some fun stuff going on. My sourdough will be rising, and then when I get back, if I get any sleep at all, if not, I'll go straight to sleep for a little bit. But if I get a little bit of sleep, I might put my sourdough in the oven and have fresh sourdough in the morning. So I'll bring you guys along for that. But it's fun to kind of incorporate kind of some like homey, kind of earthy things throughout residency. It's really been helping to keep me grounded. And I think sourdough is one of those hobbies that's gonna stick. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bring you guys along for that. And we'll see what else we get into. Otherwise, it's kind of like a day in the life at home, studying for boards, but then also kind of staying awake for a night shift in residency. So I'm officially halfway through with my first of 3 years, so not 3rd year. But it's been crazy. The days feel long sometimes, but it's honestly flown by. And I'm actually in a really hard rotation right now. I'm on OB-GYN, labor and delivery, so it's been like 12-hour days, and then kind of have this random night shift this weekend. So it's been kind of one of the more rough patches of residency, but we're doing things to keep balance and stay sane. So we're exercising with the yoga, and also just sourdough. It's been a really fun kind of hobby to embrace, and fun little breaks in my studying today with boards as well, or step 3 as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's so fun to see this channel grow, and I'm just so thankful you guys are here. I hope this inspires you to, you know, kind of take care of yourself no matter how crazy your schedule is. I hope it shows you guys kind of some fun tips along the way. And if you're interested in residency, if you're a medical student or you're a fellow resident, whatever you know, life journey you are on, I hope this inspires you in some way and can be educational or motivating or something like that. So thank you so much for being here. Sending you all my love, and let's get on with the day. Alright you guys, so my very non-expert sourdough self, but really enjoying it, that is called, if I'm remembering correctly, the coil fold. And it's just so fun and mindful and slow, and I just love it. I love how hands-on it is. And there's something so soothing about it. So it's been really fun. So what I'm doing right now is I'm every 45 minutes doing some coil folding, which basically allows, if I'm understanding correctly, allows the dough to rise. And you're not really like kneading it to like break the bubbles from the fermentation from the sourdough starter, which is kind of the whole point of it, but you're kind of shaping it and allowing it to kind of gradually rise and then shaping it. So I'm doing that every 45 minutes, which has been so nice. The first time I did a few questions. The second time I went on a little walk and talked to my mom on the phone. And then this time I'm doing some more questions. So we got our little setup here. Got UWorld going again, and it's kind of like the Pomodoro technique, or Pomodoro, whatever you guys call it. If you guys remember from step 1, step 2, or if you're doing it for step 3, or if you're studying for any test, I really recommend it. My husband and I both used it. You can kind of just set a timer for how long you want to be super focused in studying. And say you do like 30 minutes and then take like a 10-minute break. It really allows you to focus while you're studying, and then, you know, rest your mind, take a break so you're able to focus again. And so it's really fun. I wish I knew this early on, because now I'm basically doing that, but during my break I'm like working on my sourdough bread. So it's really fun, it's really mindful. I'm really enjoying it. So gonna do some more questions, doing UWorld, which is super helpful, and feel like I'm kind of getting back in the groove of things. This exam is a 2-day exam, so kind of dreading it. I try not to dread things, but you kind of forget that after step 2, which is like the biggest test right now, because it's the only one that's scored and it kind of helps you get into residency. You really want to do well on it. You kind of forget after that one that you have a third step exam. So I'm taking that in the end of February. So I feel like I'm studying pretty early. People don't usually study as much for this one, but I'm just trying to stay on top of it. And my tendency, I am like not a procrastinator, which you might think is a good thing, but I feel like I always have things in my head that are coming up, and so I like almost over prepare, and like it takes up my brain space before it probably should, honestly. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm studying, but hopefully I set a goal for myself. I'm trying to do 40 questions and then call it a day. So doing those questions, setting up Ankis. If you guys don't know Ankis, it's a great like time-spaced learning technique, I guess it's called, but it's really good flashcards, so definitely recommend that too. So we're doing those, chipping away, but then, you know, hopefully once I get that done, I'm trying to, you know, cut myself off after 40 questions, which isn't too bad, and then just relax a little bit today as well, because it's been kind of a long couple of 2 weeks on labor and delivery, got 2 more, and then I'm on medicine. So I'm really trying to take care of myself and, you know, just balance study time. And, you know, if you're in medicine, you know, like a lot of your life is going to be committed to learning and studying, which is so important because it's one of those professions where like, literally humans' lives are at stake. So it's super important to commit yourself to learning and being a lifelong learner, but also I'm trying to find a balance of, you know, doing that, but also like taking care of myself, because that's super important too. So that's what these vlogs are all about. I will show you guys the final product of the sourdough before I go to yoga. Gonna head to yoga soon. Trying to get maybe 10 more questions done right now. Timer's going. Should be studying, but I'm vlogging. But you know, it's fun too. Can't take it too seriously. And yeah, we're going from there. So I'll see you guys when I pick up the camera next. All right, so sourdough is now going to be rising for the next 6 to 8 hours. Got all the questions I needed to get done, kind of in between the sourdough, so that actually worked out really great. And now we're heading off to yoga. So we got yoga mats, and then I'm bringing tons of water because it's hot yoga. Those of you guys who've been following for a while know that I'm obsessed with women's health, and this is very topical. So I am actually in my ovulatory phase right now. There's lots of things you can kind of notice during that time: increased energy, cervical mucus changes, all that kind of stuff. I actually just had middle schmerz. So I was talking with Matt about I was like, oh, I finished my questions and all that stuff, and I just toppled over in pain. Literally my like right here, my left ovary, I just had this like excruciating like sharp pain all of a sudden. I was like, oh my gosh, I just ovulated from my left ovary. It's like, maybe that's TMI, but also I think it's interesting. So some women experience this sometimes, and it's usually like a unilateral pain during the time that they ovulate. And you'll feel that pain, and it's just kind of the release of the egg causing a little bit of inflammation, and it can be pretty painful. So it resolved after just a couple of seconds, but just a little fun fact. Anyway, off to yoga. Women's health is cool. Hello you guys. Oh my gosh, that was literally the best thing ever. Hot yoga is quickly becoming one of my favorite things. Yoga in general, I think it's so important. I feel like every time on these vlogs at some point I just stress so much, like move your body in any way that feels good. For me, any movement that really incorporates breathing, I feel like is so good for my stress. Being in residency, you're obviously going to be under a lot of stress. It's a stressful period of a young physician's life. Just the hours are a lot, and just figuring everything out is a lot. So those movements where you're really focusing on your breath. Throughout our day when we're stressed, we're not like doing those deep breaths typically. And so it's so nice to have movement where you're intentionally breathing as well. Also sweating. I kind of was thinking during this hot yoga today, I was just dripping in sweat, and it felt so good. It's a great way for our body to detoxify and, you know, excrete things that have been building up in our body. It's a detoxification mechanism, is sweating. And I was thinking this past week when I was on labor and delivery, like sure, I'll do some workouts in the morning, but it's been cold outside, it's been cold in our apartment, and I just don't sweat that way. So it felt so good to have one day where I was just sweating for an hour. I'm about to go shower now because I'm just drenched. But it felt so good. So here's your sign. Get a workout in, whatever feels good. If you like yoga, I use ClassPass, and this one was like, I want to say like $10 with ClassPass, which was really nice. It's like a local studio, and usually it'd be a lot more expensive and I wouldn't have done it, but I found ClassPass through my friend, and it actually makes it really affordable. So I'll do that like once a week. I also love Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. She's fantastic and super fun. So all sorts of good things. That felt amazing. I'm done studying, so something in me, I don't know if you guys fellow perfectionists out there wants to do more, and I'm like, no, like I'm done. I've got like, I need to stop being like this. So hopefully you guys can relate, but I'm done. And that's why I set a limit for myself. Like, hey, my goal is 40 questions. Once I do that, I'm done. So I'm not going to study anymore. I'm gonna relax. I have like a few more hours until I go to the hospital. Like, why would I study all the way up until I work for 12 hours? So anyway, forcing myself to rest, relax, and yeah, just enjoy these few hours just to chill out before night shift starts. So I'll bring you guys along, and yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Just tried to take a nap. Matt, I think, got more sleep than I did. I think I might have gotten like a little bit. I'm just not naturally the best napper, but was just like resting for an hour, hour and a half, kind of prepping for night shift, see if I could get any sleep. I honestly don't think I got much. So here we are, but I feel a little bit rejuvenated and well rested, so that's good. Staying positive. My bread has risen so much. I'm going to show you guys that the dough went through its rising period. I'm going to separate it into 2 different loaves to make 2 sourdough breads. And then I'm going to fold them and put them in the fridge and then get ready for the night shift. I made the mistake of checking the emergency department to see if any of our patients that we typically admit were in the ED, and it looks like it might be a hectic night. So we'll see how it goes. That is the plan. So we're going to separate that dough, might make some coffee, get ready for the night shift, and we will go from there. Also, just a moment for the sun coming in the kitchen. It makes me so happy. We've got the bread area with the flour and the sun coming off of it. It's all messy from my bread making process, but just look. Sun's coming in. It's so beautiful. Stuff like this just makes me so happy. Okay, so as you can see, the bread has risen a lot. So that's really nice. We have some, excuse my camera skills. We have some nice kind of bubbles on top, as you can see. So that's a good sign that it's been rising really well. And I mean, clearly it's like doubled in size. So fantastic. We're gonna separate that and then get that in the fridge for overnight. Big. So they're going to be there overnight while I'm working in the hospital, and then I'm going to get them in the morning, shape them one last time, score them, and then put them in the oven, in my Dutch oven right over there. So I'm super excited for that. That's gonna be a good little serotonin boost in the morning after night shift. I'm super excited. Anyways, I got some food I'm gonna make before I go to the hospital, trying to take advantage of eating healthy being at home. So I've got some ground beef, I've got sweet potatoes, both like yellow or orange sweet potatoes and purple sweet potatoes rich in anthocyanins, apparently more than blueberries, so that's awesome. And I also have Brussels sprouts. So they're all kind of like mixed together, already meal prepped. And I'm gonna have a little bit of that, like a bowl of that before I go to the hospital. And then make some coffee, because that's what I always do before my night shifts. If you've been following along for a while, you know. And then I'm gonna get in my scrubs and we're gonna get headed to the hospital. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. And then I am so excited to get to checking in on my sourdough in the morning and getting that in the oven. It's gonna be such a nice little treat at the end of this shift. Okay, you guys, good morning. It is 8:30 in the morning. Sun is coming on through. I didn't sleep like a lick. I'm exhausted. So we ended up, my gut was right, it ended up being a crazy day. We had 5 admits and they were pretty sick patients, and so super busy. And as the intern, we're kind of the ones writing all the notes, putting in all the orders. Our seniors are there kind of guiding us, but we're kind of like, if all goes right, we're kind of like running the service, and it was nuts. On top of those 5 admits, there was a lot of floor work going on and stuff, and it was just crazy. I literally didn't sleep at all. So about to go back and go to sleep. I'm gonna get to the sourdough after I take a nap, because I literally need like a 4-hour nap right now. So I'm about to go crash. Something that I was thinking though on my way to work, just to kind of like frame my mindset right, because I never want to go into work, especially as a medical professional, I never want to go into work thinking like, oh, like, you know, I can't wait till I'm done. I really just, you know, it's human nature. We see, you know, a task at hand, especially if it's a hard task like doing a random Saturday night when you're not adjusted to the schedule. It's arguably our hardest and most probably inconvenient like thing that we do in residency, is like the random Saturday nights, because we're not like on night shift and acclimated. But I never want to go in being a doctor, being a patient's doctor, thinking, you know, this is my shift and I can't wait to get it done. And I feel like I was kind of falling into that mindset going into it. And maybe you guys could tell kind of from how I was talking. I was like, okay, you know, it's gonna be a long one. I didn't sleep much. Anyway, so as I was driving, thankfully I have a long drive to work, and I was kind of just thinking about like changing my mindset and changing the way I think about things. And I was like, you know what, I'm driving to the hospital. Thank God I'm the doctor and I'm not the patient who's in the hospital. Thank God I'm driving to the hospital and it's not one of my family members or my husband, or, you know, I guess he is my family member, but it's not one of my family members. It's not one of my loved ones. you know, there's so many people who are going to the hospital as the patients and their life's at risk. Or, you know, you're going and there's a loved one who's dying in the hospital. I've personally, you know, had loved ones in the hospital, and that's a really scary, vulnerable place to be, to go visit them and worry about them and call the nurses and want updates. And so I was kind of thinking, I was like, you know, if my family or any of my loved ones were in the hospital and there's this, you know, random resident on her random Saturday, what kind of mindset would I want her going into work with? And I tried to give myself that mindset and, you know, give my all to every patient that I saw overnight. And definitely around 3 a.m. my brain started slowing down, and my, you know, working memory and processing speed slowed down. But I truly believe every patient I looked at, I gave 100% of what I was able to do, even when sleep deprived, which is suboptimal, but I think I really was still able to give them my all, and I think I gave them good care, and I hopefully did them, you know, hopefully I did right on the patients, and I really feel like I helped them. So that was really rewarding, and I'm glad that I changed my mindset instead of just going into it thinking like, okay, need to get this over with. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's over. Because random Saturdays are not fun, especially when you don't sleep. But anyway, that's just, you know, that was something on my heart, and I like to be vulnerable on here. So that's kind of, you know, what really changed the tone and for this night, and I'm really happy that that did. So anyway, the sun's coming in. I'm very grateful to be done. I don't have another random Saturday for a while now. And I'm about to go in and sleep. And then I think Matt and I are gonna try and go on a hike or something to enjoy this day that is Sunday before I go back to work tomorrow. So it's kind of a crazy period of residency, I'm sure you can tell, but learning lots, and I get to serve patients, so very thankful for that, focusing on the positive. After my nap, I have not forgot about the sourdough. It's in the fridge, so you guys will get footage of that as well, but your girl's gotta go sleep first, so I'll see you guys after my nap. All right, took it out of the fridge. This isn't even baked yet. Look how good it looks. It's like risen really well. Got her scoring, all floured up. She's been refrigerated. Excited to see how she turns out. Jenny is also very excited.